Good morning or good afternoon, depending on the time of you watching this. Today we are going to present to you on our mobile app called Gym Timer Pro. My name is Jesus Montemayor, and my two partners are Martin Hernandez and Eduardo Lopez. We're all CS students hoping to graduate this semester, and here is Ed.
First of all, what is the project? Well, this project is a timer application where we work as a team through all the semester for our senior project and helps to replace some gym or workout applications that are out there in the store. This application would be great for activities that involves intervals of workouts such as boxing, swimming, running, and other sports. The main feature of this application is that we help to get rid of some giant countdown timers, and this will cost hundreds of dollars. So, why is this important? Well, this application is different than other timers in the store. Why? Because some timers that are right now might have a price, and this application will be free and can save people money and keep a healthy lifestyle for them. Development. This project has been already started from previous semester. There were plenty of features developed in the application, and also some bugs errors that we found when we were in the group meetings. The main goal for us was to fix those bugs and came out with new features of our own. So we assigned tasks to everybody to complete this objective. We divide the task individually and once we make sure the task was finished, we submit our code to GitHub and go through some filters such as integration testing, code review, and using unit and widget tests already created to make sure the application still works and the code is correct once it is reviewed by our professor. Some issues that we came through the develop of this project was that it was our first time using CodeMagic. First, we have to do research of what was CodeMagic. We need to know how it works. We take a week to understand the concept. We also need to learn what is the function of CodeMagic. That basically is to run, test the code, and check for any errors to complete it. Problems. We also have some problems with it with GitHub. The main was dependencies. For every push we make on the branches from our project on GitHub, the dependencies changes. So this makes go a little bit slow once we have our code uploaded to GitHub because we have to do individually, because if we do more than maybe two or three, other person has also do one or two tasks, the dependencies will have a conflict, and this will make the professor review the code and give give us the light, the green light to approve the merge to the code. Some practice was the agile method that basically involves the discussion. In the discussion, we discuss with our professor of the team what could be our projects, what we need to achieve, and our goal for the app. Then the analysis. We get together to analyze the objective for this project. We took a group call at the beginning of the semester to check how the application was and check for bug errors and how to improve the applications. The next step is the strategy. We work in the Jira software where we divide the task individually, eventually to everybody in the group, and then we work together or by our own to complete this task. The execution was that once we have the task complete, we go through GitHub and pass the test. And once the test was passed, we need to merge the branch to masters, and we have already complete one task. And the next step for the agile method was the questions and answers and the testing. This was basically if we have some errors or the task it doesn't make like sense for us, what do we need to do? We always ask to our professor what do we need to do, or if it's wrong, the professor will always correct us in order to complete the task.
Another practice that we did was GitHub. GitHub is essentially a tool that software engineers use to help people build software together. Essentially, in GitHub, you can have a code and share it with others. Now, how do we do this? One can build a repository and put all their data in it and give access to other people or your colleagues, for example. And they can download every single file that actually creates your program. So, why is this important? This is important because with GitHub, we can use branches. What is a branch, you might ask? A branch is essentially an alternate, I guess you can say, timeline or an alternate reality where you can mess with the code, experiment with the code, do whatever you want with the code, and make the necessary changes you want to do without actually messing up the original code that was given to you by the owner of the project. So how does this happen? So essentially, one would make a branch, and then after that, they would commit the changes to that branch, and they would submit it into GitHub with this thing called a pull request. A pull request essentially lets others see your changes and what you're trying to implement, and they can also review your code and add changes to this. So this is essentially what we did. We had a code review. We essentially had branches, and after the branches we had our professor. In this case, it was Eric, or our project supervisor. Essentially, go over our code, and he would review it, and he would approve it, or give us comments or feedback if anything was wrong and what we can improve on, and what he thinks was done incorrectly or correctly.
in addition to all the other practices that we had to learn and everything with this project, one of them was Jira. With Jira, we learned about sprints and tasks, and basically sprints were just um, a bunch of tasks that were given to us in a certain amount of time. For example, our first sprint was maybe about a week long, and we had so many tasks to get done in that week. And it was just more so for us to stay on top of everything and make sure we were at a good pace to finish the project by the deadline, which was the end of the semester. Another practice was communication. For example, we all have very different schedules. I know, for example, like Martin was always busy with work, and when he would work, he would get out late. So we kind of had to find out what worked best for us whenever we could all get online and meet up through like Discord and talk about the project or even work on the project. But not even just through that, it was communication through Slack also. Like we were always trying to make sure that Eric was in the loop, or Brian, who was later introduced into the group. You know, we just kind of tried to make sure that everyone was kind of on top of everything and that no one was left behind on anything. But it was more so just to keep each other in check and where our progress was at in the project. And then late night code sessions. There was definitely several nights where we stayed up late to work on the project together, and that kind of helped. I know it helped me a lot because I know I had some trouble with the specific tasks that I had to do, and so like I would ask the other guys for help, and so they would take a quick second break and they would help me out and maybe something I wasn't understanding right away. And the same goes for them. Like I've helped them with their tasks. It's just kind of, we were just helping each other back and forth. Researches. So the app was, the framework was Flutter, the programming language was Dart, and all of us have taken Eric previously for software classes, and so we were kind of familiar with this, but there was definitely a lot of stuff that we didn't know. A lot of our references were coming from like the Flutter cookbook, which is kind of like the Flutter Bible, I guess you could say. There's definitely a lot of information there. Definitely, Stack Overflow, Google Forms, and if it wasn't on any of that, you'd just down the rabbit hole, Google searches. I definitely remember there were some like websites that weren't any of those that we used for answers to answer our problems. For future improvements, Gym Timer Pro is an application for those who like to work out in any interval of time. For example, like swimming, jiu-jitsu, boxing, anything gym related, really. Some of the features we wanted to add were a login system, a calendar, record your workouts, make a field of writing notes for your workouts. For example, like let's say during one session you realized like there's maybe like something a little off, or like you could have improved on for the next session. So definitely want to make it more personal based. In addition to those, we wanted to show the running time through the notification center, just so that you can see the progress or the time, let's say, when you're not in the app. Social sharing, so an example of that would be, like, let's say you had a great workout, or it was just a great session, and you just like the flow of things, that you'll be able to share that with like a friend through the app. Definitely reminders. That's one thing I think about. That would be good in an app. Definitely want to stay on top of you with everything. And then as of now, the app itself, we didn't implement a screen mirroring function. But the only way we would be able to get it onto, like, let's say a TV or a bigger monitor is through just like sharing it through like an HDMI or onto a laptop to a TV. And then next we have is a demo of the project. And here you go.
Finally, we have our demo of our app. So the Gym Timer Pro is just the timer. It's a timer replacement for any timer really, if you're looking to do a workout as such. Such as running, we can do X amount of minutes running or an X amount of minutes resting. You can do it for X amount of rounds. So the way this works, you would come here, which is add icon. You would add the name of the workout. We already have a run one, so we would do swimming. Then you would add the number of rounds that you would want, how many times you want to repeat that action. We'll do 5. Save that. Then you can add the intervals, such as what are you doing. So right now we're going to be swimming for, we'll say 5 seconds, just for demonstration purposes. Here we can choose what color workout we would like. Sorry, I'm pressing the dismissal. For swimming, I would like to press teal. You can press any part, so you can dismiss the keyboard. We would save that. We would also add another interval, which is our rest, and we would choose whatever time. I'll just choose 5 seconds as well, and we'll make this white. We'll save that. We can save this because now we have our swimming, we have our title, we have our sets that we're going to do. So for this one is swimming and resting. If you can see here, if we do delete this, it will not allow us to continue unless we have an actual workout. So we'll do swimming again. We'll save it. Now we have, as you can see, multiple workouts. We can have as many workouts as you want. We can start the workout. So we have this play button here, which starts a timer. You'll hear a buzzer once it starts, and you'll also hear a buzzer once the interval finishes. That indicates that the next interval has started. So we press play, we'll see how that works. You see the first buzzer, so the workout started. Here's the second buzzer, which indicates the first interval has finished, and every other beep tells you that the workout has started. As you can see here, we had 5 rounds, so that was 1 round. This is 2 rounds of swimming and resting. If you do feel like you have messed up or you would like to reset the workout, we do have an option to reset the workout, so we can just simply press reset, and it'll reset the 5 rounds and it'll reset your timers. Simple as that. You can also press play and it'll reset the timers. So now we pause the time. We can simply exit. If you do feel like you don't like a workout and you would like to edit it, we do have an edit option here in the main screen. You go to the edit button. You would edit the workout name, whichever one you would want. We'll change it to boxing. And then we can change this to pads, to hitting the pads. We can also do the rest feature. You can add more than just one interval. So, for example, here you can change this to jogging or jump rope. You can add one more interval, which is your rest interval. So now as you can see here, they're all different colors. You can save that. And you can see it has updated the workout, and you can start it. we get it started, we're hitting the pads for 1 round. We're jump roping for another round. And we're resting for another round. And as with every other workout, you can see what's up next. You can also reset it. If you don't like a workout, for example, this first one, you can slide it, and it'll give you a delete option. Just press delete. Same as for your intervals, you can slide them, and it will delete them. You can save them as well. And that's pretty much it for our demo. I hope you liked our demonstration. If you're ever looking for a timer to work out, this would be a great one. Thank you very much. Have a good one.